Hi everybody, welcome in, welcome back to my channel, Chat with Dr. J. Welcome in. If you don't mind, as you enter, please hit that like button. This is some information that I had been telling you all during the live chats that I wanted to share. And this is information about the children's screen time. The White House is worried about how much time children are spending glued to their screen, or rather to their screens. A new report that was released, making our children healthy again, says that children are spending entirely too much time on smartphones and other devices. Do you agree? Their screen time is contributing, according to the article, to physical and mental issues such as obesity and depression. Do you agree? Now, according to the document, it was a 68-page document that was created by President Donald Trump's Make America Healthy Again Commission, led by the U.S. Health official Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Its source are they spending too much time on the devices? Do you think we as parents, guardians, caregivers, what can we do to prevent children from having too much access to too much technology? Hey, I am. Hey, terrific. Good afternoon to you. Hopefully, you are having a very awesome day. Hopefully so. Hey there, Matt. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So terrific. What do you think about the devices used? What do you think we as parents, guardians, caregivers? Hey Greg. Hey Greg, Talia. If you all don't mind, please hit that subscribe button. Those tablets and phones are like, okay, crack to these kids. Absolutely. I contribute to kids spending too much time on devices. Why is that, Greg? Why is that? And did you hear that the article, what the article suggested is that their screen time is contributing to physical and mental issues such as obesity and depression, according to the report. So what and not only that's one thing they did, they presented the problem and they also came with some solutions. They also can't, it's like kids don't play outside anymore fully. No, they don't. They don't. You don't hardly see children, riding bicycles outside. Do they even play hide and seek anymore? Do they jump rope anymore? And I mean, I'm going to get as wild to say, do they even go for a walk anymore? Do they skate? You don't hardly see them on the outside. Everybody, they're all the children, the vast majority of them are on the inside, either with a laptop, like you said, we're on these cell phones. A lot of them have those smartphones, or on the video games, anything other than being outside getting some vitamin D. Okay, terrific says also the games are, yes, they are violent. Do you think that's contributing to some of them unaliving others? Terrific. And have the kids, okay, they argue with each other and think, okay, games are to, yes, those games are actually um, designed to be fun. Talia, always got to have the phone or whatever glued to them. Yesterday I was in Target and a lady almost walked right into my cart and everything because she was on the phone. Okay? She didn't even look up. I've had that happen. Hey, go get her. How in the world are you? Thank you so much for stopping by. Go get her showing us some love as she comes in. But now something else that really irks me too. You're out driving somewhere and folks are distracted by those phones and almost hitting you or almost causing an accident. Now that is wild. That is wild to me. I'm like, oh no. And as you mentioned to Leo, talking about almost running into you in Target, what about being outside, walking out of a store in a parking lot, and all the attention, all of the focus is actually in that handheld device, and they walk out in front of your vehicle. Now that is really something. That is crazy. Crazy. So it has to be bad if the White House, if the president has had to get involved. So what do we do? What do you think we as parents, guardians, caregivers can do to prevent children from having access to too much technology? I'm going to go ahead and share 5 strategies or 5 suggestions by President Trump and the White House. 5 strategies that they shared to help with the issues. Some you might agree with, some you might not agree with. You might have some of the same solutions that they gave out. The first one that they mentioned is that just physically take phones away at night. Just take the phones away. Put them up, store them away in a safe location, or I guess somewhere where they can't find them. And the next one they suggested, talk to your kids repeatedly about technology and the harm that it's doing, or just talk to them and let them know, okay, technology is good to have around, but it should not replace you taking out because I know everything wants to be text and in shorthand and that type verbiage that we don't really understand. So encourage them to do some writing, put it on pencil and paper. But the second thing is they suggested that we, the adults, the caregivers, parents, to talk to your kids repeatedly about tech. And the third thing they suggested, focus on filling their non-device time. Look, we got to find a way to get them back outside on those bicycles. We got to find a way to get them back outside playing dodgeball. Find a way to get them back outside on those skates. We must, and that's the third suggestion, like I said, focus on filling that non-device time. Okay? The fourth strategy that they gave, set a good example. They need us to set a good example. And the last thing is be flexible and go easy on yourself. Okay, Terrific says, okay, I brought healers, pogo sticks, hula hoops, okay, go-karts too. Wow. You don't hardly see them out in those go-karts. And I forgot the hula hoops. And they play with it for a good month. Okay. And back to the phones. Okay. They went. Okay. So I said no phone after 7. Okay. Good point. Good point. Terrific. Technology has made us lazy. I can agree with that. Children can easily fall prey to many things. Absolutely. And you talk about in it the trafficking, the ex trafficking. You know, that makes it easier. A lot of children get lured out that way as well. They get lured out that way as well. I guess my phone is acting up. But the last thing I think I mentioned that they suggested is for us to be flexible. So those are some different ways that the White House has given us to be able to deal with this issue. They're not calling it a crisis yet, but those are some different strategies they have given to us as parents to be able to get the use of technology or too much use of technology under control. Set a good example. Now, that was short and sweet as far as setting a good example. Since we're on the topic, how is your screen time as parents, caregivers, grandparents? If the last thing you see or we see before bed and the first thing you check when you wake up is your smartphone, maybe, just maybe, it's time to rethink our habits as an adult. Okay? So again, one of the strategies that they gave, they suggested that we need to set good examples. But if we're staying on our cell phone all the time, if that's the last thing that we look at before our head hits the pillow, the first thing we grab for to check when our eyes open, there is a problem. We must check or rethink our habits if those are our reactions to our devices as well. Keep in mind that these children, they watch what we do. So they're learning how to navigate the world from watching us. And our habits have a quiet but large influence, believe it or not, on the decisions and the choices that they make. So we got to set a good example. And when everybody in the home is together, then that will be the TikTok time, whether it's IG time, whether it's Facebook time, whether it is YouTube time. Just whatever platform you decide to be on. So we got to make sure that we set good examples for the children. did I miss? Technology has made us lazy. Children can easily fall prey. Okay, I read that one. Totally agree. They can easily fall prey. But the question is, though, the White House gave some suggestions. Are those 5 that you feel can work within your home? I see terrific. You already have set some things into place. You said that you bought hula hoops. You bought toys for them to be able to go outside and play. They play with it for about a month or so, and then some they lose interest in it, and they regain interest in the technology. I guess it's more excitement going on than those old fashioned type outside games that we used to play years and years ago. Oh, yes, I had to limit myself. Okay, being on here for hours. Absolutely. I've had to do that as well. I've had to as well because it can consume your time if you're not careful. For hours this time, I could have been doing something productive with them. Absolutely. I can attest to that 110%. So it sounds like you all do. You agree that there is a problem with the device use. Let me ask you this, terrific. Is there any way how do you think this can be changed? I mean, how do we take that some of that desire away from them just needing, just gotta have this technology in their hand before their face, pretty much almost 24/7? How do we take that taste? Take that taste, like you said, and I've said too as an adult, we realize that we have been wasting too much time on this technology. We could have been spending time with the grandchildren, spending time with the nieces, the great nieces, reading a book, reading the good book, seeing what the Lord has said in his book. We could have been doing something around the house. There's so many other things that we could be doing instead of wasting so much time on that technology. But we are adults and we realize that. But how can we, what type creative ways or what type strategies other than the 5 that the White House suggested? Or is there can it be turned around? What can we do to bring about changes and to take some of that attention and some of that focus off and get their eyes out of those screens? Is it possible? Is it too far gone? Hey, from the Black Couch, tapping in to show some big love. All right. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for stopping by. You're doing a shout out to the chat family. Thank you so very much. We're just talking about too much device usage. I don't know if that's an issue where you are located. Hey, Tales have been too. I don't know. I know Tails is in a different country. Where are you tuning in from, Black Couch? But it is an issue right here in the United States. Children are spending entirely too much time on devices. I mean, to the point where government, the White House, has gotten involved with it. And the 5 suggestions that President Trump and the White House have shared to kind of like get their eyes out of that technology. He said they recommended to take the phones away at night, take the phones away, talk to your kids repeatedly about technology, focus on filling their non-device time, give them something else to do, give them those hula hoops and those outdoor games, give them a book to read. And also set a good example. We have to set an example. If we're telling them that they're spending too much time up there and they need to put the phone down, shut it down, or turn it upside down, and they're looking at us, guess what? We need to do the exact same thing. We need to lead by example. Lead by example and also be flexible and go easy on yourself. Okay, I'm terrific. Okay, showing some love to Ben too. Black couch is an issue with the young children. Okay, okay, yes. And this right here, absolutely. So pretty much they are feeling like pretty much in the United States, across the entire country, it is a problem with our young people. And put on parental controls, okay, on them devices. Spend actual time with the children. Black Couch, I remember now. You are in Colorado. You're writing a book too. I remember in the last live you mentioned to us that you were actually writing a book. Okay, Tails is showing some love to Terrific. Okay, good afternoon. Couch. Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Okay, showing some love. Showing some love. And also, in addition to, I shared earlier that the screen time is contributing to physical and mental health issues such as obesity and depression. Okay. And also, guess what? But I guess all of this, plays a role into these issues that this too much screen time is causing, because the devices, according to the article, devices are interfering with children's sleep. And we all know that sleep is essential for a child's development, health, and ability to learn at school. So if they're not getting enough sleep at home, they got to get that sleep in somewhere, because the body can only go for so long. And if you don't give it the rest that it needs, guess what? It's going to insist. I said that to say, so if they're not sleeping at the house, where do you think where do you think they're going to take a nap at? Just where? Probably right there at school. Then we'll be getting notes home from the teacher saying, such and such fell asleep today. Please make sure such and such goes to bed at a certain time, at a good time, so that he or she can stay awake at school during instructional time. And according to research, we know that our teens, that our children, they need around 9 consecutive hours of sleep each and every night, according to what the experts say. So we got to find a way to make sure they are resting, to make sure they put those devices down so that they can get outside, do some running, do some playing, make sure it's not affecting their mental issues, make sure that, they're not overweight, that they're, like I said, just moving those joints, moving the body instead of sitting there at the house. Okay, what did Terrific say? Okay, you said black couch. Okay, yes. Okay, my daughter does. Okay, she does not allow her 5-year-old, okay, to watch YouTube at all. Good choice. I agree. Good choice. Not even the children's shows. Absolutely. Absolutely. So had you all seen this article? Had you all seen any of the articles or research concerning too much device time? I just found I found it kind of interesting. But they also suggested, like I said, to physically remove all devices from their rooms at bedtime. And look, they just let them just lay there in bed, and eventually, guess what will happen? They will eventually doze off to sleep. And they said, including the smartphones and laptops, mute any sounds. And you just need to pick a spot in a common area with chargers, even a lock. You might have to lock it up if sneaking around is an issue. So if you know that little Johnny or Caitlin or Cassie gonna get up and sneak around and try to find where you put that device, you might just need to put it under a lock and key. And in one of the other strategies they gave, let's see, we just need to talk to them and let them know the importance. Okay, technology is good, but You know, we need to get outside and let's go for a walk. Let's walk down the road. Let's get in the car. We can drive to the park and let's do a couple laps. Let's go to the track field at the middle school. Let's go to the track field at the high school. Let's just go to that walking trail. Let's do some of those outdoor games. Let's play dodgeball. Let's play hide and seek. Let's play ring around the roses. Pull out those hula hoops. Pull out those skates. Let's get that bicycle from behind the house on the deck. Let's reach under the garage and get that scooter. Not the scooter. What do they call those? I think it's a scooter. It's not a scooter. It's something else that they call it. But do something else. Let them know, if you don't do this right here, you're gonna gain some weight. We don't want you to gain that weight. You need to get out and you need to move about. Let's play in the dirt. Let's get dirty. Wear yourself out so you'll be able to sleep at night. We got to talk to them repeatedly and let them know, the technology is okay, but there's a time and a place for it. You are spending too much time, Cassie, on this phone, on this laptop, on this platform. You got, just have some heart to heart conversations about those things. And also, well, Terrific has already answered that about focus on filling their non-device time. She said she went out and she purchased them all of those things to go outside, even a go-kart. Can you imagine back when we came up, you were almost rich if you got a go-kart at Christmas time. And now children get them and they don't really want to utilize them because it's easier to be picking on those computers and picking on those devices and searching those different platforms, YouTube, and kudos to your daughter. Kudos to your daughter. You said she doesn't even let her get up there. I'm not mad at her about that. Okay, and that was one of the questions. Well, I did ask that question. What can your children do other than use devices? I mentioned a few things. Okay, you said great point. Lack of exercise is a big problem. Absolutely. And I don't know if you were in when I mentioned that. That was in the article. Their screen time is contributing to physical and mental, not just physical, but mental issues as well, such as obesity and depression. A lot of bullying takes place on these devices too. Through the use of these devices on these different platforms. That's why a lot of the school system tried to ban them, and that's something else we'll talk about later. Later, the government has had to get involved in that too. They have banned, because parents went against when the Board of Education, when the schools tried to do it, first of all, and they didn't like it. They fought against it, but now the government is involved. And I think like I said, I'll bring more information about that, but I think they're going to be banned. They will not be allowed on the school premises for grades pre-K through 8. I don't know why they didn't even do no pre-K. Is it pre-K through 5 or pre-K through 8? They should have done it for K-12. For K-12, I think my son got a cell phone when he started to drive. When he was about ninth grade, I think, and he was driving, on the football team and that sort of thing. But like I tell parents, why do they need a phone? Within a school. I don't know when the last time you visited school, but we have telephones all throughout the school. You have them in the front office. You have them in the teachers' lounges. You have them uh, in the ISS room. You have them in the media center. So the entire school is covered with phones. Children, they don't need to have that type access. And if an emergency comes about, the teacher is there. She has her cell phone. She can reach out. And most of the time, parents and teachers are in communication anyway. Anyway, whether it's through Class Dojo or whatever app your district, your school system uses, most of the times, if the teacher is not teaching it, the parents can reach out to the teachers and get a response within a few minutes. So there's really not a need for them to have those phones. And oftentimes, it takes away from learning. It takes away from teaching and learning. If the teacher is having to stop teaching, to say, no, you need to put that phone away, Dr. J. Put that phone away. Terrific. That's interfering with teaching and learning. That's what they're there at school for, to learn. And the teacher is there to make sure that they are safe and to teach them. So let's see what you have here. Great point. Okay, like an extra. Okay, yes, my grandson used to be up past 11 p.m. playing games on the weekends, and he stopped that after, okay, he was made to get his butt up at 8 o'clock. Terrific. You sound like you might be, you're old school. I can tell. Get his butt up at 8 regardless. Okay, if he has school or not, still get up, hit the flow, hit the flow, hit the flow. LOL. Okay. I know he was sleepy at school. Absolutely. Terrific. Say, yep. Okay, my daughter started shutting off their devices. Okay, perfect. She now regulates, okay, the time, okay, when they're on it. Absolutely. And you also know, I'm sure your daughter knows, you can put a timer on them as well. They can put a timer. Hey, Tracy. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Tracy says hello, Dr. J in chat. Thank you, Tracy, for stopping by. We're just here talking about, just having a discussion about too much device usage. Our children are spending too much time on devices. Black couch. Okay, it was the weekend, and he wasn't allowed to take. Terrific. That sounds like a look. I'm telling you, we think alike. That's just old school right there. That's old school. Hey, Pinky, welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Terrific is showing Tracy and Pinky some love. Pinky is saying, "Hey, chat." Okay, Tracy is showing everyone some love, and Terrific says, I also play, okay, great music, okay. Teach them how, okay, to dance, okay, music. Okay, gotcha. That's something else. I didn't even think about that. Do they even dance anymore? Do they even dance? Terrific. Seems like you already have a list of things. Playing the music now. Get them up. Look, let them cut a step. With the hula hoops and all the outside things. I like the fact of that go kart. I like the go kart. I really do. I like that. So yeah, I can tell you're old school. You are doing all of the right things to get their eyes out of those computer screens. I didn't think about dancing. They don't hardly dance anymore. It's like our world revolves around technology. A smartphone, a laptop, a desktop, and from there we go on over to these different platforms, whether it's IG, I know they have a Twitch out, they have a this out, they have a that, whether it's Facebook, whether it's YouTube, whatever the case may be. Anything except getting up, moving these joints, moving our bodies. Very good points. Terrific. I like those. I forgot all about dancing. I forgot all about dancing. Okay. But that last one, I think we've hit on all of them. Um, but I tell you what do y'all think about this? A lot of people have gotten away of just sitting down, getting a bowl of popcorn if you choose to, and just having some family time, just watching an old-fashioned TV show together. What's wrong with just sitting down, putting those devices up, locking them away, out of mind, out of sight, and just sit down and watch a TV show? I don't even know if they do that anymore. Do children, do they even watch TV? It was nothing like waking up, you're going to school Monday through Friday, but you knew on Saturday morning you didn't have to go to school, so you can get up. You can watch cartoons from about 7 o'clock. I think back then, and cartoons used to play from about 7 until about 11 o'clock. I think they would start to go off around 11 o'clock. I don't know if they sit around and watch. Hey, Stephanie, you made it over. You made it over. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Stephanie showing everybody some love. Hey, Stephanie and chat. Hey, Dr. J in chat. Stephanie is showing everybody some love. Thank you for stopping by. But we were just here chit chatting about devices, about too much. Our children are using, they're on these devices entirely too much. So that's pretty much what we have been discussing over here. Yes, nobody got, okay, no money to be taking them to jump houses at 20 bucks a pop, plus to feed them every weekend, okay? We can do all that right at home. Invite your friend. Okay, that's what I did with mine. Absolutely. Absolutely. But I don't even know if they like to sit and watch TV, like I said, to even watch TVs anymore, because if they have these devices, everything pretty much that we can watch on TV or right here on these little handheld computers. Okay, yes. Okay. Terrific is showing Stephanie some love. You say, hey, terrific. Okay, yes, I believe they do. I guess you're referring to, hey, Gail. Hey, my dear. Thank you for stopping by to check up on me. Okay, mine didn't wake up until 12 p.m. on Saturday. Up all night gaming. Tracy, what are you doing to what are you doing about that? Do you feel like they're spending too much time on these devices? Hey Gail, I know you are tuning in from Kenya. I don't know about in your country, but what we were discussing here in the United States, children are spending entirely too much time on devices. They're spending too much time on devices, and what we were just, tossing out. The government has gotten involved in that. President Trump and his administration they have given some suggestions or some strategies as to what we can do to kind of like get our children back to being children, and showing them that, there is a life without having that computer screen in your face at all times. So some of the things that they recommended from the article that I read: to talk to your kids repeatedly about technology, focus on filling their non-device time. So if you're going to take it away, have something else in place for them to do. And we've shared some of those things. And physically, just take the phones away from them at night. Be flexible and go easy on yourself. And most importantly, we got to set good examples. If we tell them that they're spending too much time on it, we don't need to have ours out and them watching us use it, but yet and still we telling them that you need to put yours down. So in other words, we just need to lead by example. Oh yes, too much time. Yes. So have you started to address it yet, Tracy? What are you doing to get them to get their eyes off of or out of that screen some? What are you doing? Do you have a game plan? How are you doing? Doing great. I am doing great. Doing awesome, Gail. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Absolutely. I have to make my 14-year-old, okay? Time and activities. Absolutely. Seems like we're all trying to do something to control it. They watch TV and be on the phone. Watch TV and be on the phone at the same time, Stephanie. Oh wow. But you're right. You're right. So true, 100. Okay, Gail. So Gail, is that a problem in your country? Is that too much device usage? Is that a problem within your country, or is it just in the US of A? Is it just in the red, white, and blue? Okay, yes, I find old school movies. That are good, even scary ones. Yes, because I turned the TV on. I forgot it was October, but I don't do the Michael Myers. What is this movie called? What is that? It's a scary movie. Halloween. That was the name of it. I'm like, no, I don't do those scary movies. But I know they will probably play that up until the end of the month, up until Halloween. But yes, those old school movies now, like for me, But I don't have any children here. My son is actually 30, 31. But I do have little great nieces and all, and they do like to watch the SpongeBob and this, that, and the other. And they don't have devices. They don't have devices yet. But yes, nothing wrong with watching, mentioning speaking of the old shows, terrific. Me myself, I still like to watch Good Times. Cosby Show every now and then, Martin Lawrence, so kind of telling my age, I guess, by knowing about those type shows. Okay, terrific is showing Gail some love. Okay, I take her phone every night at 8 p.m., even on weekends. Awesome. You already have a plan in place, Pinky. Ryan, what's up? Stephanie must told you to come on over and hang out with us. What up, Ryan? Always good to have you up in the house. Ryan, we're just talking about too much device, that our children are spending too much time on devices, and what has happened. The White House, President Trump and his team have laid out some suggestions as to what we can do to kind of like control it. And it was only five that they made mention of. Okay, Stephanie is showing Ryan some love. Okay, shit, I'm spending too. Hold on. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, too much. Exactly, Ryan. I think we as parents, we do. We spend too much time on our phones as well. So that's why one of these strategies, suggestion in the article was that we have to set good examples, meaning that we have to set a good example. We can't ask them to get off of their phone, and then on the flip side, we're sitting back having a good time, kiki, and having a good time, and flipping and scrolling and swiping on ours. So we have to put our phones away too. And what the article had stated, there is a problem. The question that it asks, how is your screen time as parents? If the last thing you see before you go to bed and the first thing you check when you wake up is your smartphone, maybe it's time for us. Maybe it's time for you. Maybe we need to rethink our own habits. Maybe we are having the exact same problems that the children are having. And all of us need to revamp and rethink our screen time usage. So that's pretty much what it was talking about. But look, it didn't leave us out. It didn't leave the adults out. It really did not. It did not. Okay, terrific. It's showing Mr. Mulatto. That's Ryan some love, really Vegas. Maybe love to everyone in the chat, according to Ryan. Terrific says, yes, I got my granddaughter in two. Okay, everybody hates Chris. That's a good one. That's an old time. Okay, that's a good one. Terrific. There's nothing we can do. It's technology. But they say, Ryan, I don't think you were here. Yes, it was technology, but we have to come up with a plan, because one of the concerns at the beginning of the article, it stated that their screen time is contributing to physical and mental issues such as obesity and depression. So, which is most important, making them get off that screen time to, affect their, to make sure, their mental is okay, and to make sure that they're up and outside moving, or to like, okay, let's change with the time. It's just technology. It's the way of life, which is most important. But I just guess, we just have to think about it and kind of see what works best. Okay, you're saying it's all about the money. Okay, Pinky is saying, let me go back up and see what I missed. Love to everyone in chat. Yes, I got my granddaughter. Okay, okay. There is nothing we can do except no. Okay. Hello to everyone. Pink is showing some love. It's all about money. Yes, 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 yes. But we got to think about the long haul. Done it. Okay, sorry about that. You all know what? I was trying to do this a little bit sooner, but I had a couple of things to come about. I got to go and pick my little great nieces them up from school. Their mom, my niece started a new job. It's all about money. Na, 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 na. President Trump. Terrific. Now look at you. You see your prayers needs to stay his butt off of Twitter also. Absolutely. Okay. LOL. Ryan, I guess you agreeing with that the prayers needs to stay off Twitter some. He needs to go right out. Ah, got you. Oh, y'all are getting to be ugly now. Don't do that. Don't do that. We won't dare disrespect our president. Just follow my daughter's rules, okay, when they come over. Okay, you're right. You have to be an example. Absolutely, Tracy. Absolutely. Okay, and Ryan says that true. Me, what's up? I hadn't seen you in a while. I got to get with you because I need some assistance too. Thank you for stopping by. We were just discussing too much device time here, and I'm still moving. I know I'm not going to be able to drive as I go and pick my two little bitty nieces up from school. I was trying to make sure I got my hour in. I don't know if that's going to happen before I have to oh, shut everything down. But that's pretty much what we have been discussing today, which was pretty interesting. It was pretty interesting. And I guess we're gonna have to get our president to lead by example too, like you said, terrific, and get off, refrain from so much Twitter usage. But it's all good. That was one that I had been trying to share for quite some time. So I'm gonna see how far I can get. I need to grab my keys, but that's pretty much the. I'm going to get the girls. That's pretty much what we have discussed. We were kind of like discussing today. I just kind of like got a late start, but dang it, where? But we did get it all in, so that's a plus. Okay, Ryan. Okay, Mimi. Okay, that's Maine. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in, everybody. Thank you all so very much for stopping by. And I can't find what I'm looking for. Isn't that something? Y'all keep showing each other love for a minute. Let me see if I can find what I'm looking for so I can go and get these two little bitty people. I think time got away from me too. I didn't realize it was almost time to go. I have some muscadine here, some bullets here in the freezer, and I was supposed to get some together to drop some off to somebody, and I messed around and got sidetracked. So that's not a good thing. Hey, man. Okay, y'all showing each other some love. Please hit. Okay, thank you for that reminder. I am. Okay, you put in night box to work. No, I don't like to be rushed here. Have you ever been like, it just won't come together sometimes? I got a late start. Shucks. You know what? I won't even worry about that right now. I'll deal with that later. Go and pick these girls up so they don't have to be taken up. I'm going to go ahead and pick them up so that they don't have to be sent around to the front office. So that's what I'm going to do. And my live was kind of late today. Let me set this real quick. It was a little bit late because I got sidetracked and I had to go to a funeral earlier too. And I started not to. Oops. I started. I still forgot. I'm gonna go back in the house, y'all. Y'all, I was trying to hang up here for 7 more minutes, but I might have to. I might have to go ahead because I'm forgetting everything. Might have to go ahead and sign off. I forgot 2 or 3 things. But I was trying to push my whole hour.
Disarmed. Ready to arm. Chime. Armed.
Okay, I'm going to try this again. One more time. And I know I won't be able to. I'll look at your comments again as soon as I get in the car. I'll get ready to end in a minute, but I'm so close. Y'all know how when you're so close to that hour. And this watch time is so crazy. Okay, I've done it many times. It's crazy. It's one of those days. And I don't like doing them, coming up here too late because of this. Driving, right? And most of the times, that's where I'm going to drop them off at school. I'm like, goodness. Oh, just can't get it right, seems like it. So now, I have to pick them up for my niece. She started a new job. So, we want those young people working. So I have to go and pick them up by 4 o'clock. And I drop them off early in the morning. Let's see if I can read these. You go do what you've got to do. Listen. Listen at you. Now, terrific. I didn't want to ask that. But you understand. You understand how it works. You understand. And the other thing, terrific, what I do, the fairs in town. That's a female chef too. Lady jumped out of the car, but you know we're doing all the exact same job that the men are doing. So okay, you see, okay, terrific. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I owe you. And I was trying to hold on to get that full hour in. I do appreciate it. I appreciate it very much. And it kept going out like, I don't know if you heard when I said I live outside of this. I live in the woods, out in the country. So I think I kind of lost you all for a minute. And by the way, if you're still there, they don't have cell phones. I have to share this during a different live because their mom, which is my sister, no. The grandma, which is my sister, Zoe, and I think I was saying, they don't have a cell phone. These two little bitty ones. One is a fourth grade, but the granddad and the mom, Zoe, which is my niece, you know, they kind of like had a debate with my sister who said, no, they don't need a cell phone. You know, almost a knockdown drag out. Not really, but you know, it was kind of like 2 against 1. My brother-in-law and my niece were in agreement that the girls needed a cell phone, but my sister stood firmly that they did not need a cell phone. So I'll just have to share that. I have to share that at a different time. So isn't that something that we're talking about that now? But you do have parents investing in giving children cell phones. I promise you, as early as pre-K. And you know, in pre-K they're only 4 years old. And when I work, I mean, when those children, when they have phones, they have those. Their phones are much more expensive than what I would put in a phone. I don't do the smartphones. Now, when I worked, I had a smartphone because, you know, my bosses wanted me to have it. But my personal phone, even the one that I have here right now, is a Droid. And to me, I kind of learned how to work an iPhone, you know, because I had to. And, you know, it was with me. It had to be with us, you know, pretty much at all times. But it seems like to me those smartphones are a little bit more complicated to use than a Droid. These Droids, you know, I got it kind of figured out. I just had to get a new one, though. I hadn't quite figured this one out. 1 or 2 little features are different. But but anyway, I said all that to say, yes, those parents, they spend a whole lot of money in those babies. I just won't say children, and those young folks. When I say young, pre-K and kindergarten, they have those high dollar phones. I wouldn't do it. Like I said, I don't even put that much into my phone. I went the longest, just like with the little flip phone and one of the little phones from Walmart, and they talked about me so bad. Mama, why you have that dinosaur phone? You have, you know, your phone is old. You need to upgrade. You need to do this, that, and the other. But as long as I can make a phone call, you know, I was fine. I didn't need all of that. Okay, I'm at a traffic light now. Okay, yes, it's crazy. Those 4-year-olds, yes, in order to work the phone. And it seems like I had another little great nephew, my nieces, baby. It seems like they come in the world. It's so amazing, you know, to see babies. I mean, probably 2-3 years old, moving that little thumb. They come into the world now, being able to scroll up and down on those phones. I'm like, Lord Jesus, what are we doing to these children? What are we doing to them? It's unreal. It's really unreal. But the fair is in town now, and I almost have to get through this traffic to go home, back and forth. And it is going to be crazy. It opened up today at 3 o'clock. And I just know cars are going to be every freaking where. So we just have to find a different route for these 12 or 13 days. When I say crazy, it's cray cray. Those folks are from everywhere. Like, dang, but at least the weather is nicer. I just thank God that it has cooled off some. Terrific, I do. Okay, yes, okay, they type better than me. All kinds of typos. You and me both. You and me both. It's unreal. It's just unreal the way, that the world is going now. I remember back 30, 40, 3 or 4 decades ago, we used to, speaking of watching TV, I couldn't wait to get off the school bus, just like on Saturday, you have school Monday through Fridays, and then Saturday, you can get up and watch, cartoons from about 7 till about 11 or 12. And when we would get off the bus in the afternoon, you would go in the house, find you something to eat if something was there. Because we didn't have snacks back in the days. It took all we did, it took all my parents had, within them just to be able to whip something together to prepare a meal. So, snack, when we got old enough, to talk about having a snack, we were sophisticated then, but we couldn't afford that. But anyway, when we got off the bus, I look forward to looking at Tom and Jerry was always on, and, the Jetson car, please don't come over here. And what the point that I'm trying to get to, we're living like in the days of the Jetson. Remember in the Jetson when they used to be go and talk on their watch, the face pop up on the watch, and they talk to people on the watch. And now I was reading that they're also, probably as we speak, within the next 10, 15, 20 years, we're going to be driving cars through the air just like the Jetson used to do. So I said, isn't that amazing? This is so freaking amazing. But it's kind of scary. It's moving so fast. You can't hardly keep up with it. But I know Ryan said it earlier, Mr. Mulatto, that's Ryan. He, it's the way of the world now. But we still got to protect these children, though. If obesity rate is up, and we all know that what do you call it? Depression, mental illness, it's real. I have some information too about mental illness. It's real, and if we see, which is more important, keeping up with the fast, with this technology and all of this here, or the mental state of these children, of your babies, making sure that they get out and move, make sure they get out and skate and get on those hula hoops and get up and dance, like you said, terrific, play that music, because these joints, we got to move. Our bodies are made to move, so they do need to get outside and do a little jump rope and, hide and seek and dodgeball and all of that good stuff. But I forgot where I was going with that. So that's why I don't see why I can't do this live stuff and, kind of drive too. You got to watch the road, you got to drive for yourself and everybody else, and lose my frame of thought. But I don't do it too often. But like I said at the end, I was just trying to I was trying to get that hour in. I need that hour. I need those watch hours. So that's why I kept it going. And like my evening just had been thrown all off. Because I got up this morning after I dropped them off and went and did 1 or 2 things that I needed to do. And then the funeral was at 11. So, shucks, I didn't get back home until about 1 and 1-ish. By the time I got set up, that kind of threw me behind. So, and I felt like if I didn't get it in before I picked them up, I got a couple other things I got to do, it would not have got in. Terrific. You still hanging in there with me. I'm almost at the school. I'm almost in the in the line to pick these 2 little ladies up. I appreciate you more than you know. I really, really do. trying to get myself back out there before I like I said, life just been life. You know, I had got my channel built up and people coming in and everything. Then I had to go out. I've been out for about 5-6 months or so. So I'm trying to get back up and come on a regular basis. Be a little bit more consistent. I was trying to see to make sure they were still out there. To make sure I'm being a little bit more consistent and just trying to, you know, find my tribes. And then we're going to see, you know, see which direction things go. But I got to get this time in first. I got to try to build this thing up the way it needs to be. But I am here. As soon as I pull up and I'll look at this last, see what you wrote there, and I'm going to go ahead and get off. But I do appreciate you hanging out with me, because I think I got my hour in a few minutes ago before I got to this point. And hopefully they don't take these children back in this building before I get here to pick them up. And I'm already at the school, so maybe not. Yep. Get my girls, get them to their grandma. I think my sister, she was having problems with her computer, so she was headed to pick them up, to go and get her computer from the shop, rather. Oh, they're getting ready to go in, so I got here in the nick of time.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. You too.
Becky.
Hey, girls.
Oh,
All right, terrific. Let's see what we have
Go.
here. Hey, girls.
Go.
You're welcome.
go.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Y'all want to say, hey, Miss Terrific?
Hey, Mr. Riffin.
Y'all had
I had a good day.
good. I like to hear that. Let's see.
Wait a minute.
I remember watching
TT.
school. What, baby?
They said that today
Yes.
that we have points today,
Right.
and
Yes,
they
it's crazy.
they
Okay,
bring
that's
out
what
the
you're-
tug
okay, I read
cart.
that. Give me 1 second, baby girl. 1 second. Yes, they
Wait,
right.
the bag is
Having
here.
all kinds of typos. Okay, I read that one. I remember watching Schoolhouse Rock. Absolutely. Oh, yes, Scooby-Doo. I still watch Scooby-Doo. I think I watched it this morning, as a matter of fact. What's my Give me 1 second, baby girl. Okay, I remember leaving out here 2000 Bill. Be driving in the sky. Absolutely. And I think we are at that point. I had read somewhere that, like I said, in the next few years, they're probably making those cars now as we speak. You're welcome. I love you. I appreciate that. Miss Terrific said, hey.
Hey.
Okay.
TT,
What, baby?
look, it's gonna be picture day tomorrow, and we're gonna get some icy. Where's the icy truck? I need some money.
You need some money?
Yeah.
Oh, well, how much money you need?
I think 4 or 5 and 3. We didn't have 3 or 4.
Yes, you know they said picture days on next